Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the TED Show. Excited to have another wonderful group. This couple was referred to me by Margie Santos. She's a big rainmaker in town. I'm excited to have Anna and Eric Schraud on the show. We're going to talk about financial freedom. Who doesn't want to talk about that all day long? And we're going to learn about them and their why and their journey. Welcome to you both. How are you today?
Thank you.
We're
Thank
great.
you.
We're
We are
absolutely
we're
great.
really
We're
blessed.
blessed. Yes.
I love it. I love that. I love
Thank you for
blessed.
having us.
You are welcome. It's an honor. All right, so let's get to it. I told you before we went live, the audience loves to hear a little bit about you both. So, always ladies first. We'll start with you, Anna. Tell us a little bit about your background before we get to Eric.
Yes. Well, I was born in the Dominican Republic. I've been here in USA for about 39 years. I have accomplished my master's degree in business administration. I am an inspirational author. I already launched my first book, Believe, on my daily inspirational journal. And I met my husband through network marketing. We know each other for over 20 years.
Wow.
And
That's a
through
good
this book,
place to meet.
yes. And as I mentioned before, I'm an author, and my mission with this book is to help children all over the world.
Wonderful. All right. Well, that's good. And we'll dive more into that soon. But we want to hear a little bit about Eric and his story.
Yes.
Sure. So, I was born and raised in the Bronx, New York, and I worked my way into city government there, and then but then started looking for different ways of earning an income, and was introduced into a network marketing companies, and like Anna said, we kind of met there. We kind of met because I saw her talking on stage, achieving accomplishments, and she saw me on stage achieving accomplishments. We started to brainstorm together and started to work together, and one thing led to the other. Next thing you know, we started dating, and now we're a couple. We're married,
Yes.
and so it's really great. It's a really great life. And after all this time of being together with her over 20 years, love her like the first day I met her.
Oh,
The
that's
second one, I love my
awesome.
husband too.
I
Yes.
love that. There's lots
Because
of love going on over there.
yes, I believe that God matches together. We have a very unique, inspirational story, love life.
Yes, you do. You do,
Yeah,
right? I
people
mean,
don't
that's
think we're on a honeymoon.
Yes, people think that we just got married recently, and we just celebrated our 13-year wedding anniversary.
Yeah.
congratulations. It's amazing. All right,
Yeah.
let's talk about financial freedom. Where did that come into play? I think there's a lot of people struggling with financial freedom, that with finances, trying to figure out what they want to do, how they do it. So, why, first of all, why financial freedom? Why is that the topic today?
Well, financial freedom, because like you said, people today are struggling, and it's generational that actually people are struggling. I think we've all heard throughout our lifetime and through generation to generation, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. And most people, they got education in school, they went to college, they got degrees, they got master's degrees. They never learned about financing truly. They may have learned how to write a check, but that's like the most that our school system has actually given us. But it's never actually given us directions on how to actually create financial wealth for yourself and how to become a financially independent person. Um, Today, it's like almost like a cookie cutter society where they want us to just, go to school, get good education, go to college, get a better education, and then get a good job. Where to I think most people's goals and dreams are beyond that. Most people have aspirations that they want to
Yes.
be better and be somebody and contribute to this great country that we're in and contribute to this great world that we're in. And they don't have that opportunity because their paychecks are limiting them. So financial freedom is a very important topic.
So you must have an idea, a solution, a game plan, a company. Tell us about you educate people on
Right.
financial freedom. Let's take a deep dive because I'd like people to get as much of the details as possible. And I'll let either one of you take that.
So well, we worked with Margie Santos and we developed what's called the Waymaker Financial Academy. And basically what we're doing is that we actually become financial coaches, and we're helping people to be financial coaches. In our lifetime, we've developed many businesses, and we've had retail businesses, network marketing businesses, and now we're in the financial field, and we're helping people financially to develop a financial game plan, to put together a comprehensive program that actually teaches them where they're at, where they want to be, and how to get there. Basically, like what a GPS does. So we're helping people show them this is what you want, this is what you have, and this is what you need to do to get there. And everybody has an individual way of doing that. Everybody has their own needs. It's not one size fits all. It's basically we have to sit down with people, get an understanding of where they're at, what they want, and we'll help them get it. It's like a fingerprint. Everybody has a different one, right?
Is there talk about the Waymaker Academy? Do people get taught a specific type of savings? I know it's different for each person, but are there basic principles that people are missing out on that you all teach in Waymaker?
Well, what we teach is we're teaching people how to create generational wealth, not just wealth that is for themselves. Most people say, well, I'm in it for myself, but yeah, you have children, you have family, you have generations that you want to take care of, your grandchildren. So we teach people how to take steps to build this. It's just like going to the gym. When you go to the gym for the first time and you start lifting those heavy weights, it's uncomfortable. So, and most people, that's why most people do give up on the gym. It does take discipline, and we teach them discipline. We teach them how they need that discipline in their life and how they need to change. And we're there as a financial coach, just like somebody at the gym is a financial coach to them. Did we lose you? Okay, there you go.
I'm still here, remember? I'm in the background.
Yeah, our screen went a little. No, our screen went blank, and I was like, "Wow!"
I was giving you front and center. So there's got to be at least a first step. Is there an intake? Do you sit down? Talk about the planning process, because I imagine you're right. Well, I know you're right. People are hesitant to talk anything about their finances because that's very private. And if they don't have a great financial situation, they don't want to admit it. So once they get to you, you've broken down some of the barriers there. What are some of the first steps? Do you do budgeting? Talk about that.
Okay, well, some of the first steps, like you're absolutely right. Most people don't want to talk about their financial situation. They get embarrassed by it. If they drive through a really nice neighborhood, they actually see these beautiful homes, and they don't bother to stop and ask the homeowner, hey, how did you do this? Because they feel embarrassed or they feel dumb, right? So the fact of the matter is we sit down and we break down those barriers and we show them simple terminology, how this is done. So basically, I break it down by telling people, hey, if you have a house or you have a real house, how do you get on top of that house? Well, a lot of times you need a ladder to do that, right? Mm-hmm. And if you want to climb that ladder, the ladder has steps. So there's certain steps you have to take in order to get on top of that house. Well, the same thing goes with a financial house. You need to get on top of that by taking steps, and each step at a time. You don't jump the steps. A lot of people want to go from one step to the end step. That's a long leap, and you can't really do that. You have to take the steps in order to build those financial muscles. So it takes time, but after a while of training, a person just creates those new habits. You have to replace the old habits with the new habits. We also advise them and show them that, hey, your paycheck doesn't come with instructions. So we have the instructions on how to gain wealth and build wealth. You just need to get those instructions and start learning the rules. Because if you don't know the rules of the game, you're not going to win the game.
So I think the audience would love to know an example of what that is. Is budgeting first? Is because I think people will want to know, is there something I need to bring to the table? If you can give an example of something that you all do with each of your people, I think that would be really helpful, because I think people are needing it. They want it. And so, but they're afraid to ask, or they don't have the resources to ask.
Well, they have to build the foundation. Just again, we'll use that example of the house, and the foundation is always important in a real house, because if you don't have a foundation, your walls are going to fall. So the same thing goes with a financial house. You need a strong foundation, and that foundation would be to first, we help them in the first step to create an emergency fund. They need to have an emergency fund, or else their financial house will just fall apart. And we help them to create $1,000 emergency fund. Most people say, "Well, Eric, I don't have 2 quarters to rub up against a dime," but we show them how to budget and how to save the money that they're actually spending. Most people don't realize that they're spending $300 a month in Starbucks, but when we put down the comprehensive program and show them step by step what is their current budget and where can we cut back on, we show them how they can start developing $100. Now, most people, again, they resist change. So we advise them and show them the seriousness of focusing on changing, that they need to change their ways and their habits of doing things. Because if they keep on doing the same thing that they're doing, they're still going to have the same results that they had 5 years ago. They're going to still have it 5 years from now. And if they want to change those results, I also show them that they have they feel they're going to get pain from change, but I show them the pain of waiting, the pain of not changing. And it's always important to show that pain, that later on in the future, if you keep on doing the same thing, you're not going to have the results you want. And you need to get out of your comfort zone and make those changes. And if you don't, then it's like Webster says, right? You keep on doing the same thing over and over again. It's the definition of insanity. And we help them to develop that change by putting together that comprehensive program to help them have $1,000 in an emergency fund. The fact of the matter is, Ted, that most people in America today, that if they had $1,000 emergency, they would not be able to pay for that emergency. They don't have the savings for it. They need to go to their credit cards, or they need to start knocking on doors and calling their family members, or maybe even start a GoFundMe page, right? That's not the way to have a financial future. You have to have a comprehensive program that's put together to help you and to embrace that change. And one of the things that we show them, the pain of regret. If you don't do these changes, you're going to regret it later on. And then you're going to say things like, hey, if I would have listened to Eric, if I would have listened to Anna, I could have had this, I should have had that. We don't want people to be a would have, could have, should have person. We want people to make that change and embrace change for the better for their family, for their children, and for generational. To be the first person that when they look up on the wall, they say, hey, that's my grandfather, and my grandfather thought enough about me to change his ways that now we have all this money and generational wealth that we don't have to worry about it. So people, and Ted, people also say, hey, how do I create that $1,000? Well, one of the things that we've identified is that people pay their bills first. They get a paycheck, they pay their bills first, and then they go and spend their money wildly, whatever's left over. That's why they have more month at the end of the money. So we show them, pay yourself first.
Yes.
The first person you should pay is not your bills, it's yourself. Once you pay yourself first, then you can start building up that money through that $1,000 emergency fund that you need to start your foundation. That's the concrete that you're pouring into that foundation. So that $1,000, I mean, if a person could pay themselves, 5%, 10%, 15%, that they take out of their check first to create that $1,000. If they did 10%, you're talking about $100 every week. In 10 weeks, you'll have that $1,000 in savings. You'll have your first foundation.
Yes. But I just want to clarify something, because as a Christian, we pay first. No, we don't pay first. We pay God first, and then we pay second.
Yeah. So she clarified me on that. So just make sure.
I assumed
sure.
that. Anna, I assumed it.
If you are, yes, if you are a Christian, I'm assuming that that of course you're gonna give your tithes and your offerings to our God first, who's gonna supply all our needs, and then you'll be able to then pay yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
But before you
all right,
pay any bills, you'll pay yourself
as we
first.
wrap, this is how fast it goes. So as we wrap up, what's the best way for them to find out more about what you all are doing? Phone number, email, how can they reach you?
Well, they can reach you to the Waymaker Financial Academy. And also I have my group as well, which is Believe GIG. That's another way. And we also have a telephone number where they can reach us as well.
Yeah, so they can reach us at 570-505-5021. Or we have our 800 number, which is 800-572-8552. Or they can reach us through Margie Santos at the Synergy Network.
Yes.
At
Good old Margie. Thank you, Margie. She's awesome. All right, y'all. You ask about financial stuff all the time, talking to my audience now. So give a shout out to Eric and Anna or Anna?
Anna.
Anna. Eric and Anna.
Yes.
And reach out to them. We'll have the links in the comments below. Thank you both so much for being on the show. Again, thank you, Margie Santos, for bringing great information, faith-based information to me. And I appreciate you guys so much. Financial freedom, we all want it, but how do we get it? Getting some help is a great way to do it through Waymaker Academy. All right, guys, we'll see you soon. Thank you both for being on the show. Guys, reach out to me if you need to get them. And all of their contact information is below.